joining me on the broadcast is Senior Dr. Shiv Gautam, who is a senior psychiatrist, joining us from Jaipur on this very development. Sir, I appreciate you giving your time on the broadcast as we discuss and we debate over how the issue of the RJ Kar Medical Hospital and College of brutal rape and murder has shocked the nation and in fact raised serious concerns over the kind of conduct has happened with the junior doctor at the workplace in the hospital. What essentially from your point of view needs to be looked at the situation that has been prevailing for over 2 weeks. The doctors from across the nation have now resumed their services, which had been on a stall for a long time. But as of now, what is the stand of the doctors? What is the mental state? What is the demand that continues to stand?
Well, the entire medical profession is shocked on this event. And mostly the lady doctors don't feel safe because it has happened in the institution. And as we know more from the social media, from the doctors of Kolkata, it is not an accidental thing, but it is a planned rape and planned murder. And this is very unfortunate. I do not want to say things which I have read on the social media because CBI will investigate it. But we hear that lot of things under the ground are responsible for it. Well, things should not happen in future. That is the most concern. See, people who are involved in raping, gang rape and murder, they are basically psychopathic personality. And people who are psychopathic personality, they should be identified and they should be treated in the schools and in the colleges. The conduct disorder starts right at the time of school. And in the schools, unfortunately, the moral education is not being given at all. What is being given is probably a kind of message which says that it is openness. And under the garb of openness, what is happening, as they grow adults, as they come under the influence of the Western culture and what they find in the social media, what they find on the sites of the Google, it's very unfortunate that it does not match with the Indian culture and Indian tradition. So one thing I would like to say that there should be study in the schools, in the childhood and adolescence of the students and students who are found to be having personality disorder. They should be segregated from the rest of the people and there should be special psychological input for them. Number two, the moral education which used to be at one point in time in the schools and in their early colleges stage, that should be given priority. Number three, the cultural influence in the families. Our families have become smaller, single families, very little time for the children, and children take support of the social media and whatever is available on the Google sites for them. I would strongly urge parents to spend time with children and give them such education which is appropriate to the Indian cultural ethos and tradition. Now, immediate thing, the punishment which should go for the people who carry on this kind of activities, it should be not be delayed. It should be as fast as possible, because we see that years together the cases are pending in the courts and then matter becomes silent and another episode happens and there is a hue and cry across the nation what has happened recently. So we should establish such system of law that these people who are identified, their charges are established and they are punished well in time. So, and it is not the procedure how the murder was conducted should be depicted by the India, but it is by the media. But the punishment should be shown in the media that people who conducted this kind of activity have been punished.
Dr. Gautam rightly said, in fact,
your next question.
NewsX in fact has also launched a campaign in the view of this gruesome incident which has shocked the consciousness of the nation. The campaign focuses on studying the kind of psyche of these criminal-minded adults and also to recognize the steps early on through their adolescent and teenage years. Now, do you think that India needs to launch its largest ever psychological study to scientifically understand the minds of these criminals and these rapists and the predators of sexual violence?
Well, studies on sexual violence is possible, but when we talk of rapists, most of them remain unidentified. It is only the tip of the iceberg which is identified. Large number of things. As a psychiatrist, many adolescents come to me and the parents do not want that things should be disclosed because of the social reasons. And they don't disclose, they suffer in silence, and such adolescents suffer from, especially women, they suffer from depression. We treat them for depression, we built up their psychological strength to deal with their trauma, and most of them suffer from post-traumatic psychological disorders, psychiatric disorders, which we call PTSD. Now, those people who suffer from PTSD and have had sexual assaults, a separate study can be done by them on this population, and that can help only the after effects of the episode. But the episode should not happen. For that purpose, we should do personality studies, psychological studies across the country, especially in the schools and early college years. And that can help the predictors and people who are identified for such a behavior. They can be helped well in time so that they don't go into the crime.
Also, Dr. Gautam, do you think that these kind of studies, which you also suggested, are going to bring in a change and are going to result into preventing such kind of crimes which over the years, well, nothing has changed from to 2012, where we were debating and talking about what led to the Nirbhaya, to till date, 12 years later as well, when also we are back at the same platform where we are concerned with all the more reasons about the safety of our young girls, of our women, of our old women who go out and also even at home. Do you think such kind of studies are going to bring in a change essentially in the system essentially?
I think two things have to be done. Number one, such kind of study can be identify the male population who go into crime and make the female victim. But we have to strengthen the personality, the courage and the physical strength of the female, especially adolescent girls. I strongly feel that adolescent girls should be provided with the strength, like they should be trained in judo, karate. They should be trained in physical activities which can save themselves. They should be taught good touch and bad touch. They should be taught how to identify a person who has a bad eye. And these girls, right from the school time, should be taught this. And I would not hesitate to say that the adolescent girls should be provided with some kind of safety weapon so that they can sort of save themselves when they are traveling at the odd hours. And then they should also be given instructions not to travel alone in the odd hours, especially during late evenings and so on. Another thing which has happened is the late night parties, which has become a fashion for the boys and girls. Spending overnight at my friend's house, and all boys and girls, they collect together, dance and have late evening parties which go on till 12 o'clock, midnight, and sometimes late midnight. That kind of fashion should be discouraged, and we should have these things limited only for the mature people, especially married people, and unmarried people should. I don't know whether I'm encroaching on the personal liberty of individuals. Another issue can come up, and the so-called liberals can talk that what Dr. Gautam is talking. But this is my feeling, that the family should take an initiative to see that that kind of cultural input does not happen.
All right, Dr. Gautam, thank you for sharing your inputs and detailed perspective over this crucial issue.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.